Be me, Feminine, living with roommate Sarah in a decent apartment downtown. Been dating my boyfriend Kyle for about a year and a half now. Kyle is basically a man-child who plays video games all day and works part-time at Best Buy. Never plans dates, never surprises me with anything, barely remembers important dates. When I bring it up, he says I'm being too demanding and needy. Babe, relationships aren't like the movies. Stop expecting so much. I'm starting to think maybe I am too demanding because he keeps saying it. Sarah has been dating her boyfriend Mark for about 6 months. Mark works in software development, makes good money, has his life together. He comes over to our apartment a lot to spend time with Sarah. First time I really noticed the difference was on a random Tuesday evening. Kyle was supposed to come over but canceled last minute to raid with his guild in World of Warcraft. Sorry, babe, the guys need me for this raid. It's important for our progression. I'm sitting on the couch alone watching Netflix, feeling kind of sad. Sarah and Mark come home from their date night carrying takeout bags. Hey, we brought you something, Sarah says cheerfully. Mark hands me a container. Sarah mentioned you love Thai food, so we got you pad Thai from that place on 5th Street. I'm surprised because I didn't ask for anything. Oh, you didn't have to do that. No problem at all. We were already there anyway, Mark says with a genuine smile. They go to Sarah's room, and I eat my pad Thai, feeling confused about why this gesture made me emotional. Kyle never brings me food unless I specifically ask and send him money for it. Next incident happens a week later. My car breaks down on the way home from work, won't start at all. I call Kyle first because that's what you do. Call your boyfriend when you need help. Babe, I'm in the middle of a ranked match. Can you call Turboway or something? Kyle, I'm stranded in a parking lot. Can you please just come help me? I'll lose my rank if I leave. Just call a tow truck. I'll talk to you later. He hangs up on me. I'm sitting there almost in tears because I feel so alone and helpless. I text Sarah explaining the situation. She calls me immediately. Mark and I are coming to get you right now. Send your location. 20 minutes later, they pull up in Mark's car. Mark gets out and immediately checks under my hood even though he's wearing nice work clothes. Looks like it might be the battery. Let me try jumping it. He has jumper cables in his trunk because of course he does. Gets my car started within 15 minutes. Follow us home just in case it dies again. I'll be right behind you. Sarah rides with me while Mark follows in his car to make sure I get home safe. When we get back, Mark checks the battery again. Yeah, this battery's done. I can take you to get a new one tomorrow if you want. You really don't have to. I can figure it out. It's no problem. I'm free after work. We'll get it. Sorted. I thank them both profusely and go to my room. Text Kyle about what happened. Car died. Sarah's BF helped me out. Cool. Glad you figured it out. I won that ranked match BTW. I don't respond because I don't know what to say. Next day, Mark actually does take me to get a new battery after he gets off work. He helps me install it in the parking lot, gets his hands dirty, doesn't complain once. There you go. Should be good as new now. If you have any more car trouble, just let me know. Thank you so much, Mark. I really appreciate it. Let me pay you back for your time. Don't be ridiculous. That's what friends do. Sarah cares about you, so I care about you. Friends do this? Since when? Kyle is my boyfriend, and he won't do this. I'm starting to realize something is very wrong with my relationship. Another week goes by, and it's my birthday. Kyle texts me happy birthday at noon. No call, just a text. HBD, babe. Want to come over later? No gift, no plans, just an invitation to his apartment to probably watch him game. I tell him I'm having dinner with Sarah and some friends. Cool, hit me up after if you want to hang. Sarah goes all out for my birthday because she's an amazing friend. Takes me to a nice restaurant, invites a few of our close friends, makes me feel special. Mark is there too, and he brings me a gift even though he barely knows me. It's a book I mentioned wanting like a month ago in passing during a conversation. I remembered you said you wanted to read this, so I grabbed it for you. I'm shocked he remembered because even Kyle doesn't remember things I say. Mark, this is so thoughtful. Thank you so much. Of course, happy birthday. Hope this year is great for you. Meanwhile, Kyle has sent me 2 texts all day and no gift. At dinner, I watch Mark interact with Sarah. He listens when she talks, asks her questions about her day, laughs at her jokes, touches her hand gently. He treats her like she's the most important person in the room. I can't remember the last time Kyle made me feel like that. I excuse myself to the bathroom and cry a little, not because I like Mark, but because I realize how poorly Kyle treats me in comparison. Sarah comes to check on me. You okay? You seem off tonight. I'm fine, just emotional about my birthday. She doesn't buy it, but doesn't push. Okay, but I'm here if you need to talk. We go back to the table and I try to enjoy the rest of my birthday. Later that night, I go to Kyle's apartment like he asked. He's playing video games when I arrive, barely looks up. Hey babe, how was dinner? It was nice. Sarah and her friends took me to that Italian place I like. Cool. Hey, can you grab me a beer from the fridge? I stand there for a moment just staring at him. Kyle, it's my birthday. Yeah, happy birthday. Beer? Did you get me anything? Make any plans? He pauses his game and looks annoyed. I said happy birthday. What more do you want? I'm not made of money. Mark barely knows. Me and he got me a thoughtful gift. You've been dating me for over a year. Who's Mark? Sarah's boyfriend. He remembered a book I wanted from a conversation a month ago. Kyle rolls his eyes. Good for him. He's a simp trying too hard. That's not realistic. It's not realistic to remember things about your girlfriend and put in effort? You're being dramatic. This is why I don't like making a big deal about birthdays. People get entitled. I feel something inside me just break. I grab my purse. I'm leaving. What? Why? I barely saw you today. Because you couldn't be bothered to do anything for my birthday, and now you're calling me entitled for wanting basic effort. Come on, don't be like this. You're overreacting. I leave without saying another word and drive home. When I get back to the apartment, Sarah and Mark are watching a movie on the couch. I must look upset because Sarah immediately pauses it. What happened? I break down and tell them everything about Kyle, how he treats me, how little effort he puts in. Sarah is pissed. I've been watching this for months and I didn't want to say anything, but he's trash. Mark looks uncomfortable but says, you deserve someone who treats you like you matter. That's baseline, not something special. But maybe I am too demanding? Kyle always says I expect too much. Sarah grabs my shoulders. Listen to me. You are not demanding for wanting effort, respect, and care. That's literally the bare minimum. Mark nods. If a guy isn't willing to put in effort for birthdays, help when you're stranded, or remember things you say, he doesn't value you. Simple as that. But we've been together for over a year. I've invested so much time. Sunk cost fallacy, Mark says. Don't stay in something bad just because you've already invested time. That's how people waste years. I know they're right, but it's hard to accept. I spend the next week really thinking about my relationship with Kyle. During this time, I keep noticing how Mark treats Sarah versus how Kyle treats me. Mark texts Sarah throughout the day just to check in, not because he needs something. Kyle only texts me when he wants something or is bored. Mark plans date nights and surprises for Sarah regularly. Kyle hasn't planned a date in months. I always have to do it. Mark introduces Sarah to his friends and family and seems proud to have her. Kyle keeps me separate from his life, says his friends wouldn't get me. One evening, Mark is over helping Sarah build a bookshelf she bought from IKEA. I'm doing homework at the kitchen table and my laptop charger dies. Damn it, I need to order a new charger, but it won't get here until next week. Mark overhears. What kind of laptop do you have? I tell him and he thinks for a moment. I have an old universal charger that should work. I'll bring it tomorrow. Are you sure? I don't want to inconvenience you. It's no inconvenience. I'm not using it anyway. Better than you being without a laptop for a week. Next day, he brings the charger as promised. I try to give him money for it. How much do you want for this? Nothing. I literally wasn't using it. Just return it whenever you get your new one. This man who isn't even my boyfriend is more helpful than Kyle has ever been. I finally work up the courage to break up with Kyle. Call him instead of going over because I don't want to deal with him in person. We need to break up. What? Why? What did I do? You don't put in any effort, Kyle. You treat me like an afterthought. I treat you fine. You're just being influenced by your roommate's relationship. Not everyone is a simp like her boyfriend. Mark isn't a simp for treating Sarah well. That's called being a good partner. Whatever. You're going to regret this when you realize how good you had it. I really don't think I will. I hang up and immediately feel lighter, like a weight has been lifted. Sarah comes home and I tell her I did it. She hugs me. I'm so proud of you. You deserve so much better. Mark comes over later and Sarah must have told him because he says, "Congrats on the breakup. I know that's not easy, but you made the right call." Thanks. Watching how you treat Sarah really opened my eyes to what I was accepting. Every woman deserves to be treated with respect and care. That's not special. That's baseline human decency in a relationship. I'm starting to understand that now. Over the next few months, I focus on myself and healing from the relationship. Sarah and Mark continue being amazing friends and examples of a healthy relationship. Mark never once makes me feel like a third wheel when he's over. He includes me in conversations, asks about my day, treats me like a valued friend. One night, we're all watching a movie and ordering food. I offer to pay for my portion, and Mark won't let me. You can get it next time, don't worry about it. You always say that and then never let me pay next time either. He grins. Then I guess you'll have to keep trying. Sarah playfully hits him. Stop being so nice to everyone. You're making other men look bad. Good. Maybe they'll step up their game. I laugh, but I'm also a little sad because I wasted over a year with Kyle when this is how relationships should be. A few months later, Sarah tells me she and Mark are moving in together. I'm happy for them, but also worried about losing my roommate. Don't worry, we'll help you find someone new or cover rent until you do, Sarah assures me. Mark adds, and we'll help you move their stuff in, interview roommates, whatever you need. You guys are too good to me. That's what friends are for, Mark says simply. They help me find a new roommate, a girl named Emma, who seems cool. Mark and Sarah help both Emma and me move furniture and get set up. Mark brings his truck and does all the heavy lifting without complaint. Even after they move out, they still come over regularly to hang out. I start dating again eventually, much more. Carefully this time. I go on dates with a few guys, but keep comparing them to how Mark treats Sarah. Not because I want Mark, but because I now know what standards to have. One guy I date for a few weeks shows up late to dates, never plans anything, expects me to pay half, but never reciprocates. I ended after 3 weeks because life is too short for mediocre treatment. Sarah is proud. Look at you having standards now. I learn from watching the best. Eventually, I meet someone new. Let's call him James. James is thoughtful, plans dates, remembers things I say, texts me just to check in. Basically, he treats me how Mark treats Sarah, like a human being he values. I'm nervous to introduce him to Sarah and Mark because their opinion matters to me. We all go out to dinner together, a double date situation. I watch Mark interact with James, asking him questions but not interrogating him. James holds his own, asks Mark about his work, genuinely engages in conversation. After dinner, Sarah pulls me aside. He's great, way better than Kyle. You really think so? Mark approved too, I can tell. He's been smiling all night. Mark comes over. James seems like a solid guy. Treats you well? Yeah, he really does. Good, that's what you deserve. Don't settle for less again. James and I continue dating, and it gets serious over time. He meets my parents, I meet his. We're building something real. Sarah and Mark get engaged after a year of living together. I'm one of Sarah's bridesmaids, and James is invited to the wedding. At the engagement party, I give a speech about Sarah. Sarah has been my best friend and the best roommate I could ask for. But more than that, she showed me what a healthy relationship looks like. I look at Mark. And Mark, thank you for setting the bar high and showing me that good men exist. You helped me realize I was accepting far less than I deserved. Watching you two together taught me that effort, care, and respect aren't too much to ask for. They're the foundation. Sarah is crying happy tears and Mark looks touched. Later, Mark comes up to me. That speech meant a lot. I never realized our relationship had that impact on you. You guys saved me from wasting more years with someone who didn't value me. I'll always be grateful for that. I'm just glad you found someone who treats you right now. James is a good guy. The wedding happens 6 months later, and it's beautiful. Sarah looks stunning, and Mark looks at her like she's the only person in the world. During their vows, Mark says, "You made me want to be the best version of myself every single day. You deserve nothing less than everything I can give." I'm crying because it's beautiful, and also because I know he means it. At the reception, James and I are dancing. You okay? You've been emotional all day. I'm just happy for them, and grateful. Grateful for what? For learning what love should look like before I settled for what it shouldn't be. He kisses my forehead. I'm grateful you have high standards now. Makes me want to keep meeting them. You exceed them every day. A few years later, James and I get married too. Sarah and Mark are both in the wedding party. At my reception, I make sure to thank them in my speech. To Sarah and Mark, thank you for showing me what I deserved and for never letting me settle. You changed my life more than you know. Later, Sarah and I are talking at the bar. Can you believe how far we've come? She asks. From roommates dealing with my terrible ex to both of us married to amazing men? Life is weird and wonderful. Mark and James join us, carrying drinks. James hands me mine without me asking because he knows my order. Mark does the same for Sarah. These small gestures that once seemed extraordinary now feel normal because this is how we should be treated. I think back to Kyle and how he called Mark a simp for doing basic relationship things. Kyle is still single according to social media, still playing video games and complaining about women having high standards. Meanwhile, I'm married to an amazing man who treats me like I matter every single day. The moral of this story is that sometimes you need to see a healthy relationship to realize how unhealthy yours is. Watching Mark treat Sarah well didn't make me want Mark. It made me want to be treated well. It raised my standards and made me realize that effort and care aren't too much to ask for. If your partner makes you feel demanding for wanting basic respect and attention, they're the problem, not you. Also, having friends in healthy relationships is invaluable because they'll help you see clearly when you're accepting less than you deserve. And to all the guys like Kyle out there who think effort is simping, enjoy being single. The bar is on the floor and you still can't meet it. My face. When my roommate's boyfriend treated me better as a friend than my own boyfriend treated me as a partner. That feel, when you finally find someone who treats you well and you realize how much time you wasted accepting less than the bare minimum.